Hi guys, it's Amy from Making Space. It's Tuesday, which means I've got another activity today which has been inspired by our Young Designers course. So this course is all about giving young people that are interested in design some kind of tools and some ideas to kind of help grow and expand their kind of design and illustration skills. So today the activity that I'm going to be doing is all about challenging you to think outside the box and to do something with your designing that you may not have thought of before. So it's really simple, and what you need is really simple too. So you're going to need some templates, which I'll pop on the blog post as well. A rubber, pencil, some illustration pens, and then just some coloured pens or pencils, whatever you want to add some colour later on. So to start off with, grab a plain bit of paper or a scrap bit of paper to pop underneath, and then another bit of paper on top. And we just do this because if you're working on a dark tabletop like mine, it's a bit harder to see the template through sometimes. So if you put a light bit of paper underneath, it just seems to lift it. So when it comes to designing, oh, we've gone completely out of focus there. Let me just refocus you. There we go. When it comes to designing, we tend to quite often fall into a trap of always designing what we like, what we know, or kind of what we've seen before. This activity forces you to do something different, to try something new, which is really important as a designer. So you're going to be taking inspiration from letters of the alphabet. And you need to incorporate those letters into your designs in as many ways as possible. So let's start with a letter S. That's quite a nice curvy letter. And then for the second design, I'll do something a little bit more structured and rigid. So I'm going to start from the top of my drawing down to the bottom. And I'm going to think about how many ways I can incorporate this S shape into my design. So I'm going to start with the neck. Make sure I've got that way you guys can see it. And I'm going to start by creating this wrap round neckline. So you can see on that? Yeah, you can. One S shape that kind of wraps around the neck like a halter neck and then comes round over the bust. And then we just carry on using this idea of reiterating this S shape wherever we can. So what I might do, which might look quite nice, is add some ruffles coming down the kind of neck. So again, I'm kind of copying this S shape to get those ruffles. Okay, and then let's think about how we can draw this down. So maybe on the waist. And, you know, play about with the scale of the letter as well. That's quite important. So can we get another S in kind of here on the boob? With the kind of shape there. And maybe we'll do some bangles around her arm. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just do some more ruffles inspired by that S shape. Going down there and down the bottom here. Okay, once you feel, I'm not going to do too much on here because it's just a demonstration. Once you feel you've got enough of the letters in there to really show off what you're doing, maybe we'll make that a bit more bold. You can then obviously fill in the gaps. You're not going to be able to cover the whole thing. Well, you might be able to. See how you go. But you might find you then need to just kind of fill in the gaps a little bit to kind of put the rest of your design in there. Okay. And then obviously you can go back over, add any more details you need to, anything that you need sort of thickening up, adding more detail. Pop those bits in there. And then maybe we'll make these look more sort of three-dimensional. Now what I might do is just do second line over these ruffles that we've drawn, inspired by our S-chain. So once you've got the illustration down, then you're going to do what we always do, and we go back in and we fill in the gaps in the illustration with our with the body parts that are shown. And this is a really good way to design, because you're not wasting time drawing the bits of the body that aren't going to be seen, because they're kind of hidden by the clothes. Okay, so you can see I've drawn the top bits of the body in. Now I'll just draw the bits of the legs in that I can see. And voila, we've got our first outfit that's all inspired by S's. Now obviously you could go back in and you could add more detail. You know, we could do some print in here as well, inspired by the letter, which is quite a nice way to do it. Completely up to you. So that was a kind of curvy letter inspired by the letter S. And then let's try a different one. So let's try maybe a W, all straight lines. And let's see how we get on with that one. So again, I'm going to start from the top and I'm going to work my way down. So W, let's try and create a very different look. So I'm going to kind of come down. I'm going to create off the shoulders. That's my first W that you can see, and check you can see that, I think you can, over the kind of bust line, so kind of off the shoulder. And I'm going to do another W. It's quite Wonder Woman at the moment. Okay, and then it's going to come into and make that much straighter there. And let's try and do maybe some trousers rather than okay. So I think at the moment that's as many W's as I want to actually tell you what I'm going to do. And just do a pocket. It's quite a nice way to get. Okay, so then like I did before, draw the rest of the lines in. Oh, snap my pencil. Snap it again. I'm clearly pressing much too hard this today. And then we've got, just pull that up to that pocket. Okay, so there we go. So, two very different outfits, not things I probably would have normally designed if I'd just been left to my own devices, but subtly inspired by two different letters. So again, like we did before, we can just fill in the body parts now that are showing. Like so. And obviously I'm doing mine very quick for sort of demonstration purposes, but you know, take your time with this, really kind of have some fun, explore the possibilities, you know, see, you can maybe even try and do the whole alphabet, you know, see how you go. It's a fun activity that's, like I said, it just challenges you to think outside the box a little bit, just to design something you wouldn't have even thought of before. And then, like I said, you can go back over and add some detail in. And then, of course, you can add colour and, you know, go over it with a pen. So I'm going to do this super quick so I don't waste lots of time. So I'm just going to take my template out from underneath. If you're using kind of illustration pens like these ones, do make sure you've got a spare bit of paper underneath again, because they do like to bleed through. And I'm just going to show you how quickly we can kind of transform this by adding some colour. Something I say to my girls all the time when we do fashion illustrations is I never try and colour mine in its entirety. I don't actually think it looks very good. I quite like seeing bits of white left round, sort of around the edges. I think it kind of makes it look more illustration-y. But obviously, you're the designer. It's up to you to do what you think looks best. And explore, you know, try different styles. You know, now's a great time to kind of build on your style and create a look that is yours as well, which is a really nice thing to do. It's nice when people look at your work and instantly know that it's yours because they recognise the style. And then let's go over and do slightly darker print. So I've done this S1, all very gold and kind of quite regal. I'm just going in there with that print design that we've got. And then of course you can use your black illustration pens just to kind of give your design, you know, make it stand out even more. And you know, this is when you can really pick up those details that show all the different letters as well. And obviously you could try combining two. You know, you could do a B and a Z. You know, it is the purpose of this is just to really challenge you to design something you wouldn't normally. So you know, do whatever you fancy really. It's just these are ideas and suggestions to kind of challenge you to try something different. And you can see, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, I'm doing mine very quickly just to show you kind of demonstration. But, you know, take your time on yours, have fun with it. You know, now's it's a unusual time, which means that you can kind of explore and, you know, use this time that you wouldn't normally get to kind of create extra artwork, you know, discover and grow as a designer and an artist. Really quite special. So that's my golden S dress that you can see there. Now let's get in and do this W one. I'm going to do this one a bit more casual. I'm going to have these wide leg W-shaped 3/4 length trousers. And let's give them a darker turn up. Let's find a dark blue. And you can see here how, as I mentioned before, I'm not doing, you know, colour all the way round. Okay, and then let's maybe give that pink top. Again, with a kind of darker, sort of off-the-shoulder strap that she's got going on, inspired by that sort of deep W shape. And we can mimic that. And some lipstick on her. Okay, and again, once you've got the colour on, obviously you can spend much more time adding more colour, more detail to yours, but for now that will do for mine. Didn't put my lid back on my pen, so it's just running out a little bit. Let's switch to the other one. And you know, when you come to the detail stage, you can add things like ruffles, you know, you can add pockets, you know, all those little details which you might not be able to capture with the pen, with the coloured pens. You know, when you add the detail, that's when you can add these details. So, you know, we might do a little ruche there by the kind of bust line. You might do little buttons going up the top. You know, it's a great time to add things like the detail on the pockets, the button flies, all those little details which make fashion illustrations look more finished, more polished. Just kind of elevate them from just a simple drawing to a fashion illustration. You know, you're really trying to demonstrate what the clothes would look like. And again, once we've got the clothes on, we can then fill in the body parts. We'll just come down to the bottom. And you can see I didn't even worry about drawing shoes. I know shoes, hands, faces, these are all the things that kind of put people off illustrating, which they shouldn't. Do not worry about it. You know, you can leave yours as simplistic as mine. Just add a bit of colour in on the back there. Oh, and just spotted that little line there I've missed. And obviously I've not rubbed out my pencil marks. You can go back over and fine tune it. Some people like to colour in the skin. If you do, that's fine. Again, I don't tend to do it all. What I like to do is just do like a highlight down one edge, which gives the impression of skin but without you having to colour the whole thing in, which I quite like. And we can just add a tiny little bit more pink up here to show you. Okay, and that's it. So you can see how quick and easy that was to utilise two very different letters, a very curvy S and quite a straightforward W, to create two looks that I would have never designed if you just told me to sit down and draw two outfits. It made me think more differently. It made me think about how I could change the shapes of the garments to incorporate those letters. So a really simple activity, but one that will just challenge you as a designer, and I think quite fun. If you're feeling up to it, you could work your way through the alphabet. Start with A, get to Z would be great. You could focus on a different colour each time, going through the colours of the rainbow. Again, that would be really nice. Use it to kind of inspire you to come up with something different and unique that you wouldn't have thought of before. So that's it. I hope you enjoy the activity, and I'll be back again next week with another activity. Take care then, guys. Bye.